Whittward Carver and the Cavemen Conundrum. Ladies and gentlemen, gather round. I've got a yarn that'll make your ancestors rattle in their graves like a dodgy washing machine. Picture this. A bunch of Neanderthals, loafing around their cave, scratching their arses, and puzzling over the new kids in town. So there's this one Neanderthal. Let's call him Barry. Barry's a bit of a philosopher, you know, always thinking deep thoughts. One day he goes, "Oi, you lot, have you seen those new blokes? The ones with the fancy tools and the weird paintings." His mate, Gary, looks up from his mammoth steak and goes, "Yeah, what about 'em?" Barry says, "I reckon they're up to something. I mean, who paints on walls? That's just bloody odd, innit?" Gary shrugs. "Maybe they're just trying to impress the ladies. You know, a bit of art to get the birds chirping." Barry's not convinced. "Nah, mate, there's more to it. I can feel it in me bones." Larry, another cave mate, joins in. "I heard they've got these new spears. Thin as a twig, but they can chuck 'em and hit a beast from miles away." Barry scoffs. "Throw a spear? That's cheating, that is. If you can't whack it over the head, it ain't worth hunting," Larry shrugs. "All I'm saying is they're different. Maybe we should keep tabs on 'em." Barry nods. "Yeah, maybe. But if they start trying to teach us their fancy tool tricks, I'm out. I ain't got time for that malarkey." Gary chuckles. "You? Learn something new? That'll be the day. You can't even make fire without setting your bloody eyebrows alight." Barry protests. "Oi, that happened once. And it was a bloody accident." Larry grins. "Accident, my arse. You were trying to impress that new bird, weren't you? The one with the nice rocks." Barry grins. "Yeah, well, she was impressed, wasn't she? Even if I did singe my eyebrows off." Gary laughs. "Mate, she was taking the piss out of you, not fancying you." Barry brushes him off. Yeah. Anyway, back to these newcomers. I reckon we should send someone to their cave, you know, to snoop around." Larry raises an eyebrow. "And who's going to do that then?" "You." Barry shakes his head. "Nah, mate. I'm a thinker, not a doer. Besides, I've got this thing with me back. Can't go crawling around in caves, can I?" Gary rolls his eyes. "Your thing is called being bone idle, Barry. But fine, I'll do it." Barry grins. "That's the spirit, Gaz. And who knows? Maybe you'll learn something useful, like how to paint a ruddy wall." Off Gary goes, grumbling and cursing under his breath. Meanwhile, Barry and Larry are left in the cave, shaking their heads and wondering what the future holds. "You reckon they'll teach us their ways then?" Larry asks. Barry shrugs. "Who knows, mate? But one thing's for sure. If they think they can outsmart us Neanderthals, they've got another thing coming. We might be dense as dirt, but we're tough as old boots, and that's what matters, innit?" And with that, they return to their mammoth steaks, content in the knowledge that no matter what the future brings, they'll face it head on, with a club in one hand and a crispy eyebrow in the other. Because even in the Stone Age, people were bloody baffled by change. And that, my friends, is a universal truth. So let's raise a mug of whatever's handy and drink to the confusion of progress. Cheers.